Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dad Chronicles. Cook and Joe back with you. Pretty excited about this one. Joe and I being the cheer dads, we came across a cheer dad podcast that just recently started, and the two guys that we have on today, we have Alex and Jerry. I reached out to Alex and said, "Hey man, I think we really need to do a collab," and he was all for it, and we just dove right in. Spoke to Joe, obviously, and Joe was all about it. So here we are. Guys, welcome.
Welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Thanks,
How are you?
for having us on.
No, thanks for joining us. I mean, this is something that I think the four of us are probably going to be nonstop with, because this is us. Like, we dig all sports, but when it comes down to it, cheer is pretty much where our kids have landed. So this is probably going to be very long-winded on everybody's side here. But again, quick thing about me, guys. My daughter, 14, she's been in cheer for, I believe this is her 7th year. Doesn't really want anything to do with All Stars. She does have a lot of friends that are in All Stars, and she just said that wasn't really for her. So she started out in a Pop Warner program, and our PW program, Joe's daughter actually started in. Just fantastic, and coaches still very, we talked to them a whole bunch, and as of last year, she decided that she was going for high school cheer. So as an 8th grader, she tried out and made the JV team, so she was very happy about that. And she tried out, and she's now a junior coach back for the Pop Warner program. So that's a very quick on my daughter, and I'm gonna hand it over to Joe.
Gentlemen, how we doing? All right, so mine is now 18. This is, I believe, our 10th year. She is what I referred to as her super duper year. She is a super duper senior. Based on her age, allows her to do one more year, so this is it. So yeah, I mean, she started, 10 years ago in Pop Warner. I believe this is our 4th season in All Stars. You guys are very familiar with the All Stars, by the sounds of it. That's pretty much it. All Stars is a whole nother beast. You guys can definitely relate to that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I'm Alex Russell. My daughter is Haley Russell. She is getting ready to turn sweet 16 in like 2 weeks. So excited about that.
Well, congratulations and happy birthday, young lady.
Yeah, thanks. So she's been in All-Star cheer since she was 4. So we are like 12 years in, but she's 10 years of actually like doing the competition side, because the first 2 years she did like rec, like the rec classes and everything. She started at a small little D2 gym. It was a great start for her. And then she decided that she wanted to move up to the big dog. So we went to Top Gun. We're in Orlando, so we've been with Top Gun Orlando now for the last 7 seasons. Watched her go from a J3 team all the way up to 2 years ago. She was on Angels, the non-tumbling worlds team. She had a really good time with that. And then she's gone back to senior level 5 the last 2 years, which she's really enjoyed a little bit more. And yeah, that's kind of a quick about me and my daughter.
Yeah, my name is Jerry Grant, and I live in Sellersburg, Indiana, which is right across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. And my daughter started out in gymnastics, like tumble gymnastics. She was there for about a year when we got her in when she was like 3 or 4. So she got started pretty young. And she's been in All-Star Cheer this is her 7th season, I believe. Yeah, 6th or 7th season. So she's been with our gym pretty much the entire time. She started out at another gym to begin with, but after her first season, the gym owner of that gym retired, so she switched over to the gym that we're at now, which I am 99.999% sure that this is our forever home, forever cheer home. We've got a very good relationship with the gym owner and her husband. They are become like family to us over the past 2 years, really. We've gotten pretty close with them. And now has taken on an administrative role with that gym. So, yeah, so we've been with Element Elite now for, like I said, right at 6 years. This is her 6th year doing it. She also does school cheer. So last year she was on. It was pretty wild. She was on 2 school cheer teams, which was a game day cheer for like the fifth grade boys basketball team and girls basketball team. So she did that 1 or 2 nights a week. And then she was on the competitive cheer for school, which also took up 1 or 2 nights a week. And then she was on 2 teams with our Element Elite gym, the All-Star gym. So she was pretty much at the gym 6 out of 7 nights a week.
Wow.
And yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot last year. So, but this year she's going to be on, hopefully we'll be on like 3 teams. We're hoping that she makes she's made the game day cheer for school. We're hoping she makes a competitive team, but she's also on one team at Element Elite this year. So yeah, cheer's been pretty much her life. She's tried other sports, t-ball, and I helped coach the t-ball team, and it was fun, but it just wasn't her. I mean, she still did cheer, but it just wasn't her. And now my other daughter Reese, who is 7, she tried cheer for 2 years, and it just wasn't her thing. But she's more of a softball girl. So I've got one in softball and then one in competitive cheer. So we're a sports family, and we're at the ballpark or at the gym pretty much every night of the week.
So you're not out of sports anytime soon.
No,
Yeah,
we're just getting started.
You guys have a ton of free time.
Yeah, right.
Now, I have to say, you guys are at some very, very well-known gyms. And I'm sure I have watched your daughters on Varsity TV on multiple occasions. Because that's all we watch when we're, at comps.
Right.
It's the only thing it's the only thing I can watch.
We're a smaller gym. We're a D2 gym here in Sellersburg.
Yeah, we're the same here.
It's a little bit of a smaller gym, but
I recognize the uniforms though, and the logos.
Yeah, we still compete on the big scale. And actually, my daughter, she competed down in Tampa this year for the first time at the celebration event.
Yep.
And her team actually won their division this year.
That's fantastic.
So that was a pretty big deal for her. And it was her first. I mean, we've traveled out of state. We traveled to Nashville, which is about 3 hours away. We traveled to Chicago, Indianapolis, Cincinnati. But this was the first time that she's been that far out of state traveling and competing on that scale. And so she was pretty excited. And when we went down there, we were just hoping for the best. And, they pulled it out. So they brought their A game for sure.
That's awesome. That's absolutely fantastic.
When I talked to my daughter, I said, "Yeah, we're recording." "Oh, who are you recording tonight?" I says, "Oh, there's a couple of guys that started just an actual Cheer Dad podcast, and one of their daughters is on Top Gun." "Oh my God, what team?" I said, Orlando. She's like, "Dad, what team?"
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't even. I know that, like, from our gym, we've had a couple athletes actually go down, and I don't know if they were actual alternates or actually, were performing, but they were at Top Gun, and I can't remember their names for the life of me. I can't. But I know after I get over.
Yeah, you can tell your daughter she's on Revival. It's the Senior 5 team. So
I'm sure we'll be at some events.
Yeah.
I know this year we're going to Philly. We're going to Atlantic City. We're going to Battle at the Capitol in D.C., Rhode Island, and probably Disney, like always.
Okay. Yeah. We're not sure. We don't have our comp schedule yet. They don't usually release it until end of July, beginning of August.
Oh, wow.
Last year, our 2 travel comps were one up in Nashville and Cheersport in Atlanta. We're kind of hoping this year we get NCA and Cheersport, just because our coach is also one of the coaches for Top Gun Revelation.
Oh yeah,
which is kind of the big team.
Yep.
And so we're thinking that, hopefully because she's coaching both of the teams, like we'll kind of go to similar competitions, and Revs primarily always goes to NCA, not one up. So
yeah,
and we don't really ever since we've been at Top Gun, we've never done well at one up. So hopefully they make a change and we go.
And you've been there for a while, you said, right? The whole time?
12
years?
This is her 7th year at Top Gun. She did she did 4 years competition wise at a smaller gym called Legendary Athletics here in Central Florida, and then she did the 2 years or like the year and a half or whatever of rec. So yeah, so she started when she was about 4.5. She's 16 now, so roughly 12 years that we've been doing cheer.
So did she go right to cheer, or were you doing anything else before you did cheer?
So she tried when she was 3. We did ballet. That was obviously not happening. I mean, you can't get 3-year-olds to, stand in a line and pay attention to save their lives. So like we did like one dance season. It wasn't even like a season because it was more of like a rec class. Like they didn't even do like a recital or anything like that. So it was just Saturday mornings, go down to the dance studio and they had, bunch of 3 and 4-year-olds. She didn't really like that. So then we did gymnastics. There was a big gym here in our town called Brown's Gymnastics, and they, had produced some like Olympic, people or whatever. She went there and did that for like a month, and then it was a funny story because she was doing it with her best friend at the time. And so my wife and the other mom were sitting in the lobby, and my daughter left the class, went into the lobby, and she's like, okay, I'm ready to go. And, my wife was like, no, it's not time yet. And my daughter was like, no, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. So my wife was like, and her best friend was still in the class. Like her best friend liked it. So she's like, well, I guess I'll see you when that, so they left. And then cheer was kind of like, okay, like that's the last thing we try before it becomes like soccer or, volleyball or, whatever. And, my daughter, even at 4 years old, living in Florida, knew she didn't want to do anything outside. So, so we took her to Legendary Athletics. We did like a free, they do like a free class like the first time or whatever, and she had a ball with it, and she said that I want to do this. So so we kept doing it. We finished out like that rec year because we kind of started like halfway through, and then she was asking us about doing the comp teams, and it was always like and this was a funny story that I told on our podcast is it's always like, well, you have to try out, and and so we were like, well, you don't have enough experience at the tryout, and I'm thinking like tryout, like if you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't, right? Like nobody told me it's team placement. Like, like they call it tryouts, but it's team play. They're just going to see where they put you. So we told her let's do one more year of rec, and then so when she got to 6 years old, then she was really really bugging us, and so we told her, we're like, okay, some of these other girls are really really good, like we'll let you try out, but if not, we'll keep doing the rec team, and then she makes a team, and we're like, what? And everybody's like, oh yeah, everybody makes a team, and we're like, well, why didn't somebody tell us that? Like, So yeah, so that was kind of it from there on out. She absolutely fell in love with it, and like most all-star cheerleaders, I think, she just eats, breathes, and sleeps cheerleading. So I guess we can't be too wrong. Keeps her out of trouble. Keeps her chasing that dream and pursuing what she wants, so keeps her dedicated.
Can't ask for more than that. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
So what's your love hate with All Star Cheer? I'm curious, because I know we all have our opinions of All Star Cheer. Where do you guys stand on that?
I'll let Jerry go first.
Yeah. So and I'm just going to be 100% honest.
Absolutely.
Like, at first, when I first started, I was a little skeptical about it, just because, like I've said on our podcast before, like, all-star cheer wasn't a thing when I was a kid. It was always like baseball, basketball, football, the those kind of sports. It wasn't as big as big as it is now. So I was a little skeptical the first year or so. But once I saw my daughter like fully embrace it and fully dive in head first and just absolutely fall in love with it, I was sold, man. I mean, and like I said, again, I'm being 100% honest with you. Like, there's absolutely nothing I really do not like about it, because it's something that, like I said, my daughter absolutely loves and has fallen, absolutely in love with. So, I mean, it's something that I'm really like I said before too. Like every time she goes out, like I feel this sense of pride, and I feel this sense of like just this proud dad, because she's pouring her heart and soul into something that she absolutely loves. And every time she competes, I get a little tear in my eye because of how proud I am of her. So there's absolutely nothing that I hate about it. Yes, it's expensive, but it's 100% worth it for me to see her happy. Yes, it's a lot of it's a lot of commitment, but it also teaches her to be a part of a team and to have that commitment to a team. So there's absolutely nothing that I hate about it. And I mean, like I said, again, it is expensive. It is, but to seeing her happy, it makes it 100% worth it for me.
Without a doubt. Yeah. When they run onto that stage, there's no better feeling in the world at that moment. The chill, and I'm one of those guys like right at the front screaming, losing my voice for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And it is damn expensive. There's like, we went to, what's the big one in Indiana there?
Jam Fest.
Jam Fest.
Yeah.
That was our first, like, really over the top, besides, like, Disney. Walking into that place was just wow.
Ginormous.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And I see all these people, and I'm like, this is insane.
Oh, yeah.
So you watch your kid perform, you watch their other teams perform, and then you got some downtime. And for me, it's like, how much money are these is this, really pulling in? So you start running some generic numbers. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah. You go, well, I know how much I paid times
exactly
there's this many, there's like 30 kids on a team times 12 teams times times.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nuts. And then like when people ask me, like, like guys at work, like, what do you guys, pay to get into some of these events? I'm like, well, the one last week was, me, my wife, and my son was like $200, almost $300. And they're like, serious? I'm like, yeah. I was like, honestly, I would pay $500. It wouldn't matter. I want to see my daughter.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
a whole nother beast.
But for
Yeah.
all of us, like whether you're Pop Warner, high school, All Stars,
the feeling's the same. It's
right?
mutual.
The feeling's
100%.
totally the same, and I will go back to that. But like when we, any cheer parent, cheer dad, cheer mom, whatever, talks about, well, yeah, we're going to watch them. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
How long is that? Well, I mean, 10, 12 hours. But how many times do they go? Once. What do you mean once?
Oh, yeah. People think we're nuts.
Right.
They think we're
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, do you leave? Well, no. What do you mean you don't leave? Well, I want to see, if her team is up against 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams. I want to know, like, how they're looking.
Dave,
I'm not doing the scores in my head, but
I
we're
get excited just
visualizing.
leading up to the events.
Well, I listen. I'm
You know
with
what I
you.
mean? Like, never would I have ever thought from Pop Warner when she's like, "Hey, Dad, I want to try cheer." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Never did I think
I
we
was
would end up here,
totally the opposite.
and I would never go back.
Right.
Like, it's absolutely amazing. It has taken me to places I would never go, never see, never visit,
Right.
never experience.
Scared out of your mind.
And no matter, as everybody's like, well, it's the same thing no matter where you go. I'm like, it's really not.
No, it's not though. Like, but even like for us, like our big one in Pop Warner is Super Bowl in Disney. Well, which is
Right.
now
Raleigh.
Like, even when you go there for the first time, you're like awestruck. Cool, this is great. You go there the second time, and you're just as awestruck. Third, fourth time, just as awestruck. But it's the competition. Like, we've gone to Disney a couple of times, us, the family, whatever. All right, yeah, we've seen that, did that last time. This is getting kind of lame. It's getting kind of boring. We've done it 1,000 times. That's totally different when it comes to comp time.
Were you guys both at Atlanta last year?
So I wasn't last year. Unfortunately, I didn't do any travel last season just because of financials, and then somebody had to stay home with the animals. So, it's kind of like, all right, I'll just stay home because she's at that, 15, getting ready to be 16. She'd rather travel with mom.
Yeah.
To travel with dad. So the wife did the 2 away travels last year.
Our gym went to Atlanta, and we had some of our older junior and senior teams there, but Maddie's on a youth team, so she did not go to Atlanta.
Yeah, the youth teams don't go.
Yeah. But yeah, no, from our gym, we had people there, and yeah.
I thought Indianapolis was wild. Doesn't even compare. That was insane.
Yeah.
And we had, I think, 4 or 5 teams there. And at one point, we were running to the next section. It was like a 20-minute walk. We had like 18 minutes. Like, you're booking. And it's wall-to-wall people for 16, 17 hours. It's nuts. But I would never go back and be like, nah, it wasn't worth it. It never even crossed my mind. Like, that feeling, there's nothing that compares. Especially seeing all the work that these girls put in.
Right.
It's nutty. Yeah. Like, I think her practices now are like 2.5 hours long. 2 hours, 2.5. I'm sure you guys are the same, right?
Yeah, that's what Haley's are. Haley's are 2 hours, and then she has flyer class after. That's usually 20 minutes, and then she has to do her videos for the coaches. So then that usually takes her another 10 or 15 minutes. So yeah, it's a long day. I mean, really. So me and my wife split days because she has practice Tuesdays and Thursdays, and her practice is 6 to 8. But Thursdays she has her tumbling private from 5 to 5:30. And since my schedule with the shop is a little more flexible, I can schedule, my clients as will. So I actually take her on Thursdays. So we usually leave the house around 4:15, 4:20-ish. It takes about 30-35 minutes for us to get to the gym. And then we're there from 5 o'clock until she's done. 8:30, 8:45, 9 o'clock. It's long.
Yep.
It's a long, I thank God I have headphones and, Netflix and Hulu and, Prime and all that stuff.
Yep.
Just put on a movie or a TV show or something.
We used to play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to call Jerry out. I mean, you guys were asking about love and hate, so I'm gonna call Jerry out a little bit because I think he hates the same thing I do. I think he just forgot that he hates it, and so the one thing I hate about it is just the inconsistency with varsity. The scoring never seems to be the same. Like it's. Sometimes it seems like there's some favoritism one way or another, and so that's the one thing I hate about it. Pretty much everything that.
I want to say something real quick. If anybody from varsity is listening, I think you guys are great. I think you are awesome. Our team is Element Elite, and we will be. We love and support you guys 1,000%. This season is going to be the best season of varsity. So yeah,
that is a very aggravating side of that, without a doubt.
It is. Everything else that everybody's been talking about is why I absolutely love it. I mean, I love that my daughter found something that, that she just embraced wholeheartedly. Do I wish sometimes she was a little more dedicated with her, especially her tumbling. She's not a tumbler. She doesn't like tumbling. So I wish that, she was a little more dedicated towards the tumbling side of it, like she is the flying side. But yeah, I mean, just the camaraderie, the learning the teamwork, learning the skills, like just all the things that she's embraced about it and does, and just watching her grow, from this 4-year-old little kid that didn't know how to hold her hands in a V, or whatever, stand on one leg, to, now she's, being thrown in the air and twists and turns and, all the things that level 5 and level 6 flyers do is just amazing. So
it really does help them grow in so many different aspects of life.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Just being able to, especially when we were a smaller D2 gym, but this year we have a team that has 32, I want to say, on it, which is pretty big for us.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, which is massive compared to last year. I think one of my daughter's team had 12, and then the other one had maybe 20, 22. So we're still floating around that small division.
Yeah, small mediums or barely a medium kind of thing.
Yeah, yep. So this year should be very interesting for us, but they pull it together. I don't know how they do it, but it's wild to see how all those girls, all their attitudes and mood swings can all come together when it really matters the most and give the best damn performance they can.
Yeah.
It's nope, my daughter comes out, we had a terrible warm-up, it's not going to be great, and then they come out and they're perfect. I'm well, what we think is perfect and what varsity thinks is perfect is a whole other story.
Right, two different things.
Yeah, exactly. Way two different things.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they get the score sheet and they're I didn't see that. And then everybody's watching the thing over again, and You know, it's wild. It really is. But
Yeah.
again, I would never change it, ever.
No, absolutely not.
And I don't mean to use the word hate. I don't. It's a very strong word, but you know, it's just there are some dislikes. I would say.
Yes. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because you have to pay for absolutely everything.
Yeah. I'm surprised they don't make you pay to breathe the air that's pumped in through the air conditioners.
Well, like for instance, like when we went to D2 Summit in Orlando, you know, obviously we follow like the D1 Summit and all that Summit Group stuff on Facebook, and we saw the catastrophe with just getting into the complex and athletes and parents running down the highway, and I'm like, we got to figure something out because I'm definitely not doing that. Yeah. I'm too big of a man to be running down the highway in Florida heat, you know, to get there. So we found out that you can buy parking there. Well, I'm like, hell, if it saves us some time and we can get in there a little bit quicker, like, why not? But it was pretty damn expensive. But I would...
It's Disney. Nothing's cheap.
No. They had, like, premium parking, which was like 100 and something, 125, and platinum.
Oh, wow.
So for me, convenience is everything for cheer. So I'm like, well, just do the platinum one. I'm like, where do you park? They're like, oh, it's this little tiny lot, like right there. You get your own entrance. I'm like, sold. She's like, it's $175. I'm like,
okay.
Convenience is key at cheer comps.
Yeah.
Like, 100% we're doing that. And she was really against it. And I'm like, babe, just do it. And I will do it going forward. And I would recommend everybody else do it. It's kind of sketchy looking when you sign up for it. It doesn't look like a legit website where you're going to pay for something, but it's legit. And you bypass all that stuff in that little fenced-in area off to the side of the globe that's got that green matting on it. That's your parking lot. So if anybody's listening and wants some tips, that's one of them. Nice. It is worth every penny. It's wild, though.
Yeah, it was tough this year because I actually missed my daughter's performance at Summit because I was one of those guys.
You were one. Yep.
Yeah, you know, 3 hours in traffic to go 2 miles.
That's it's heartbreaking.
It was, and honestly, I mean, like we live like 40 minutes away from Disney, so I thought I left with plenty of time. You know, I was like, okay, it's 40 minutes to get down there. Like, you know, I was gonna get there at the meet time, you know, and thankfully my wife and my daughter, they actually stayed down at Disney with one of the other moms and her daughter, so they didn't have to go through it as bad. They actually got there just in time for the meet, but you know, I was parking in the parking spot 5 minutes before their time to go on. And I still had to, like, you know, walk that line, go through the ticket scan, and then, you know, up around the globe and all the way to the field house. And I got there and they were already done.
Yeah.
And it was just, it sucked. I mean, it was like, you know, we pay all this money. She made it to Summit, like, you know, and I just got stuck. And it was like, you know, nothing you could do but, you know, just sit and wait until you got there. And
especially for the amount of money that we pay to go to these, like, parking should be the last issue.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, come on.
Well, it wasn't, to me, it necessarily wasn't the parking that was the issue. It's the roads. There's only like the one road that goes, and there's 2 different ways to come in to that road from Disney. So it was just a funneling traffic jam of everybody trying to get into this one road from 2 different, you know, ways. And that's what was the worst part about it. Because once I actually got onto the road where ESPN Sports was on, like that traffic cruised kind of decently, but it was just the Osceola Parkway where everybody was coming from east and west trying to like merge onto I forget the road that ESPN Sports is on, but it was just, you know, all these cars coming off the main highway trying to funnel into this one, 2-lane road or whatever. Um, so, so at least I know for next year, I'll just leave a lot earlier. I'll go and sit there all day if I have to.
It's pretty much what the rest of us do. You should join us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, usually when we go like to go aways, I mean, that's kind of how we do it because my daughter likes to go and sit and watch the other teams, and especially if we go to away comps where the bigger name world's teams are going to be because I mean, she's in the gym with Angels and Revelation, so to her it's kind of like, okay, I know them, but she wants to go and see Orange, and she wants to go and see Senior Elite, and she wants to go see, SMOED and this team and that team, and, all these teams that I can't even keep up with anymore. So, we do go and we kind of sit there all day until it's, her time to go, get ready and meet up. But usually when they're here in Orlando, we're kind of like, all right, go hit it, and then go home. It's no sense in staying all day. We can go back home and be done with it. So, yeah.
That's got to be nice about living so close.
Yeah,
your home's
is.
only a short distance away.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, when I was listening to your first podcast, I'm like, oh, I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Like, nothing is close for us.
No.
Nothing.
Right.
It's crazy. I think the closest comp is like an hour and a half.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I was telling my wife at this last, summit, I was like, man, it's a good thing that we live here in Orlando because, if we lived somewhere else, I don't know that we could financially really do this, like Disney's not cheap. It's not cheap to fly, and, and it's, I mean, not that it's cheap to fly to like Atlanta or Houston or, Dallas, Houston, NC is going to be in Houston this year. Or coming up here or whatever, but when you go to Summit, it's a little bit more than just a 2-day like everywhere else. So usually you got to come in a couple of days early, and then people want to go to Disney and all that stuff. So
yeah, it's not cheap by any means. The traveling alone. So we go, all four of us go all the time. It's just something we've always done. We've stuck with it. We experience it together, which I think is fantastic. But yeah, it's a lot, especially when we do those bigger ones like Indianapolis and Atlanta. There were talks about us going to Dallas. It's like our very first Disney experience was through Pop Warner. And when they had parent night or, the coaches meeting or whatever, where, they just kind of update everybody on the season and what's going to happen, what our plans are, where we're potentially going to go. And they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, we could also, possibly go to Disney. And they're like, we haven't made it in a while. And I'm like, okay, cool. And that was that. And then they make it and they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to Disney and you have 2 weeks to pay us. So pick your package. And we'll see you guys on, that night. We show up. I'm like, listen, here's like 3 credit cards. You can put that much on that one, on that one, and that one on the other. And that's literally how we paid for our first year. And
right.
No one can prepare you for that. I think it was like almost $5,000, which is a ton of money.
I want to say the first year Shay went, I think we paid out $700 or $7,500, and that wasn't including airfare.
Yeah, that's not including it's not including airfare.
But the year that Shay went, she was like a mighty level, and that was the first year that they were actually like competitive in Disney. And I think I want to say I was just getting on the board. Like, I have to revert back. I was a huge lacrosse fan in high school. And then, I got, messing around with the kid in the backyard, and we got thrown around, and she's like, yeah, Dad, this is great. I think I want to do this. And I'm like elated. I'm super happy. So then I get asked to help coach, and I'm like, Yeah, I'm in. Great. Go through a season. She's loving it. End of the season, she goes, Dad, I want to say she's 6 or 7 years old at this point, and puts her hand on my shoulder, and Dad, really think I want to try this cheer thing. And I'm crushed. And I said, okay, well, what are you going to do with lacrosse? She's like, well, they're kind of at the same time. And I said, okay, if this is what you want to do, cool. But if you're starting it, you're going to finish it.
Right.
Okay. So obviously, we're never going to tell them, no, you can't do something. So, she starts, and like when I was coaching the girls for lacrosse, like you had 13 and a half seconds to keep their attention, or they're, picking grass or chasing a butterfly with the stick. And
right.
it was just, it was rough, but it was fun. But then their attention span, like when they're cheering, was just like, I was like, wait a minute, what just happened? Like they're paying attention. First big competition in an arena with her, I'm balling, absolutely balling. Like I had to like drop my sunglasses down, and still to this day, like here she is, 14 years old, still chokes me up.
Yeah.
Every single time, whether it's a high school comp, whether it's an actual comp, still choke up. I just lost my train of thought. So back to Disney. We sent 4 teams that year. And I want to say we sent a check for like $110,000 or $115,000 to Disney. So we get down there, we stay in All-Star Sports. All-Star Sports is jam-packed. We start driving past the resorts, jam-packed. All you see is bows, glitter, warm-up gear, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. If we sent that much, and all of these resorts are full, and all of those resorts are full, I don't feel like they're hurting this weekend.
Yeah, no.
You know what I always feel bad about is the people that go there not knowing that it's like a cheer week.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, boy, are you in for an experience?
Right.
Yeah. Well, my wife is a couple of years ago, because we were still kind of doing the, well, I wasn't, but her and the kid were still kind of doing the Disney thing. And so she was in like one of these like Disney groups on Facebook or whatever, and she was talking about how so many people were on there like complaining because Disney doesn't tell you that it's Summit Weekend or World's Weekend or whatever, D2 Summit, and and this was going through the COVID
The airlines
years
sure know how to figure it out.
Yeah, well, in the COVID years they were limiting Disney. You had to make your reservation, and so a lot of the you get your Disney ticket for going to Summit and everything, and a lot of the moms couldn't, because they would hit capacity for the weekend, and so the kids couldn't go, and they're like, well, we're only down here for the weekend. But then my wife was saying that there was people in the Disney group that were complaining because all the cheerleaders were booking all the reservations, and then they couldn't go to Disney, and they come down here or whatever. And so, that was
These damn cheerleaders.
That was a whole, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I mean, since that first time that we went, we've planned accordingly, but, between airfare and entry fees and all that stuff, just so people get an idea of how expensive All-Star can be, we're averaging like 13 to 15,000 a year for everything that we do. So if there's anybody that listens to this, don't stop your children from doing it, but just be prepared. There's a lot of overtime, a lot of side hustling for whatever you need to do. But you make it work, you make it happen, and it is worth every damn minute.
Absolutely.
Every minute.
Oh, the first time I went, just looking at what the bill was going to be, I was crapping kittens.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, how is this going to happen?
It happens, though. You just make it happen. And that's the crazy part. Like, you don't know how you're going to do it, but for some reason, man, I tell my wife it all the time. It's like, we'll just make it work, and we do. And it happens, and we enjoy ourselves, and we don't have to worry about it, and it's done.
Yeah. Jerry's got a real good thing. He hits up his clients for sponsors. Don't you, Jerry?
Yeah, so last year I had quite a few of the local businesses that I work with, and some friends and family that stepped up and pretty much all but covered Maddie's tuition last year. So that helped out a ton.
Oh, God,
yeah, so we also have fundraising events throughout the year.
Well, let me interrupt you real quick. So, to the people who are listening to this that walk through the mall and actually toss $1.
You want some extra cheese in your bucket?
No, maybe a 5, the occasional 20, and the very, very rare $100 bill. We as parents, thank you very much.
When the hell have you ever gotten $100 in your coin drop?
We have.
We used to do those in Pop Warner. I don't do them anymore. I feel like I'm out there
to the mall.
I feel like I'm selling my kids.
I make sure when we go to the mall on a weekend, I have at least a few dollars of cash in my pocket.
Yeah, we do all kinds of fundraising though. Donuts, flowers, wreaths, popcorn, typical stuff. Some do well, some don't.
Like I said, we had we do like like in the Christmas time we do poinsettias.
Yep.
We do Texas Roadhouse rolls is 1 month. There is mums is 1 month. We do laundry detergents. So there's opportunities throughout the year that your kid can make sponsorship dollar or the fundraising. But like I said, I've had local businesses. Alex, you know Ryan Griggs, don't you?
Yeah.
Up in Michigan, he is a local. He's a cheer dad as well that we know through the detailing side. And so last year I posted on Facebook, Maddie's looking for sponsors. And that first day he reached out to me and he was like, "Man, cheer dads got to stick together." And he's like, I want to sponsor Maddie. So he donated like $250 for Maddie.
That's awesome.
Last year.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And then we have, awesome. Like I said, the local businesses that I work with my detail business. I put it out there to a couple of them, and I would say 99% of them that I sent it out to responded and wanted to help out in some way. So yeah, Maddie got most of her tuition paid for last year by the sponsorship dollars, and then the fundraising dollars as well.
That's fantastic.
Oh.
No, that's definitely great.
That's a big having
a good team mom for that is nice too. So the year that Haley was on Angels, thankfully they got a full paid to Worlds, but our team mom was really good at putting together like fundraisers throughout the year that didn't really cost us a whole bunch to do, and she was able to raise all of the money that the full pay didn't cover. So the hotels, the food for the weekend, because when Top Gun, when their Worlds teams go to Worlds, they have to stay in a hotel down at Disney. It's not like we could just, the parents could drive there or whatever, but the kids all stay Friday night, Saturday night, and then go home Sunday or whatever. So she was able to raise, I think, like an additional, because we have like almost 30 athletes, and I think the additional was like $400 or $500 per kid. So she was able to raise like almost $15,000 to cover the hotel for all the kids, the the food, the buses to travel from the hotel to Disney and then back again, and whatever else they needed. So that was another thing that she was really good at. So having a really good team mom who can do all that stuff throughout the year, so that you don't get to the end of the season and then have to fork out a ton of money was really nice.
That's absolutely true. When I got on the board for our Pop Warner, they approached me and said, "Hey, we have an open spot." And I was like, "Oh yeah, what's that?" And they're like, "Oh, fundraising." And I was like, "Oh, let me see what Michelle's doing." So I'm like, "Come on, there's an open spot. It's fundraising. Like, how much work could it actually be?" She did probably 4,000 times more work than I did when I took my spot on the board, and
you were probably like, "See, it's not even that bad."
Right. And she's like, "This guy, he comes in, he doesn't do a thing, he does like one thing a month, and that's it." And here I am. It's 12 o'clock at night, and I'm sorting orders for this fundraiser. I'm getting this one ready. Like, and by the way, we have a lot of really good opportunities up here for fundraising. I don't know what you guys, but like 99 is great. Krispy Kremes will actually make a trip down to New York City and but with a van, and just bring back hundreds of dozens of donuts and
oh wow.
A lot of really good businesses that really want to help out. And when it comes to the kids, man, like they're ready.
Yeah, we have one. I don't know if you guys do the same, but right before Thanksgiving time, we have a local, well, kind of local, bakery that does like a pie fundraiser. And we probably do 20, 30 pies ourselves. And I think we get half back per pie.
Pies, David's Cookies is another one.
The pies is a big one.
Yeah.
If you guys have a really good bakery around your areas, that's a good one to look into to see if they do fundraising, especially around the holidays.
Nice.
That one's key. But yeah, we have a collective group of moms that do our fundraising in our gym. I don't know, there's like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of them. Damn it, David. Silence your phone.
Yeah, alarms don't silence.
Oh. Anyways. But yeah, so it makes they have a ton on their plate, and it seems like every other week we're getting fundraiser notifications. And I'm like, I don't know how much more I can suck out of people.
Yeah.
Between all the other sports and all the other things going on, I'm like these people like pay for a lot of different fundraisers. I mean, we do the same, but
right.
Just when you think it's over, it's like, all right, cheers over. You get 2 weeks. It's like, oh, new fundraiser for the next season. I'm like, damn. I'm like, I feel bad going back to people. Go ahead.
That's what I do. I do as well. Like, I mean, like, again, like I just put it out there. I don't really even ask for the fundraising. I'm like, look, here it is. If you want it, if you don't, I totally understand. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even ask. On the fundraising side, I don't ask.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just put it out there to friends and family. But the sponsorships I ask, but the fundraising I get, it's every month. I mean, it's we have a like a booster club that helps out facilitate all of our fundraising. So again, there's ones that are more successful than others, but again, like I just put it out there, but if we get something that month, then that's great. But it's not really like I don't ask for it essentially on the fundraising side.
I think me and the wife are on the page, like all right, they bought our fundraiser, well, we gotta buy their fundraiser,
right?
It's only the right thing to do. And it's like, what do you want?
I think the best one.
You guys did good with the jerky one.
Yeah, that always did good, and the basket of cheer,
the alcohol basket.
Yeah. So basically, what we did with that was every parent had to donate a top shelf liquor. But it went so well the first time that we did it. Like the second time that we did it, we set up like 3 baskets. So as soon as people found out that, oh, it's not just one chance, like if you do it at the right time, so whether it's like 4th of July, Thanksgiving, around Christmas, and there's a chance that someone's going to have some extra fun around a holiday, it goes very, very well.
Yeah.
Our biggest one we do is our spring raffle. Every team that we have picks a theme, and then they build a raffle basket off of that theme. Last year, I think one of the teams did like ice cream, so they had like that Ninja Creamy as part of the giveaway, and like ice cream toppings, all that stuff. I know they did, like somebody had a Blackstone. I don't know if that was last year or the year before, but all the teams pick a theme, and then we sell raffle tickets for those, and that one is probably our biggest one out of the year, which is and it's a good way to get all the parents involved, all the teams involved. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be thousands of raffle tickets.
Shout out to any moms or dads that do fundraisers that, do something that.
Or if anybody's listening that has one that we don't have, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, we're all for ideas.
Yeah. Do you guys have any crazy rules at your gyms? I'm just curious because we have one crazy rule at our gym.
Alex, you want to hit that first?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's anything like real crazy. I mean, obviously, Top Gun kind of has a reputation, of kind of where they are and being who they are. So, everything is always, kind of just, be mindful, be careful, you're representing the gym. It was actually funny. My wife was telling me this morning or this afternoon that last night my daughter was telling her, she's like, listen, you can't drink at any of the competitions. And not that my wife is a drinker or anything, but she'll have a glass of wine here and there. And and she was like, well, why? And she's like, Mom, we represent Top Gun. We can't. You can't be drunk at the competitions and, all this stuff. So my daughter's like actually scolding my wife, who doesn't really drink, that she can't drink. She's like, after the competition's over and we go back to the hotel, Mom, you're like, you can have your wine or you can have your drink, but you can't have it beforehand. And, my wife's like, I needed to calm my nerves. Like, it's so stressful.
Making her sound like an alcoholic.
No. Yeah, exactly. That's the funny part about it is my wife isn't,
making it like she drinks 24/7.
Right.
Definitely
right,
going to
exactly.
comps hungover.
Yeah, you have a problem, Mom. But she really doesn't. So no, I mean, I would say, just the biggest one is, just always kind of, you're representing the gym, so kind of be mindful of the things you say and do, or whatever. Other than that, I mean, I don't know of anything crazy. You're not supposed to film or video the routines in the lobby, or whatever. You're not supposed to post them online, that type of stuff. So yeah.
So you guys don't have any fines, right?
No, none that I've ever heard of.
So
we do have like the kids have to be on time. Like if there's like a habitual tardy to practice, then they can get fined for being late to practice. But I mean, as far as crazy rules, we don't allow. I mean, we've done it last year to where the parents are not supposed to watch practice. Like they can be outside in the parking lot or whatever, but it's to keep the
focus
to allow the coaches to be able to rank, to get the kids, like you said, to focus. But that way the parents aren't like trying to coach from outside in the lobby.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, after so many habitual tardies or absences, they can be fined because that hurts the team.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, there's stuff like that. But I mean, I that's to be expected in my opinion. I don't think it's really crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty.
Now, do you guys have to
Pretty
show
standard.
up for every team that's at the performance or at that comp and watch?
So last year we did one competition to where they had to be there for a certain amount of time beforehand, and it was like spread out throughout the day. So if you were in the later session, you had to be there for like but for a couple teams beforehand to watch them,
Yep.
and it builds that camaraderie and um, the gym camaraderie, I think.
Yep.
But we only did that for one or two competitions, but a lot of our parents go and support all the teams regardless. Like, and now, I mean, like the younger teams that are performing at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, they're not going to stay until 8 or 9 o'clock at night to watch the older ones. Some of them will.
That's
But
understandable.
it's not yeah, but if there's a team within like a couple hours of your team, a lot of times our parents are show up for a lot of the teams that even their kids are not on.
Yeah, for the most part, like all of our elite teams, as long as they're not spread out like too far, like you said, we have to be at every single one of their performances. And if you're not there, they will enforce a fine. Because for the same reason, we want to show up, we want to support each other, and it shows kind of like a lack of care if you're not there. Like, we were all there for you, you should be there for us, Because there's sometimes where we show up and we got like, 30, 40 people when in the morning, you had 100 parents and other athletes, cheering you on. But yeah, it gets pretty serious and some people get a little pissed off about it, but I can understand why.
We don't really have that at Top Gun. I mean, they do, they'll typically put out, so like my daughter's team Revival, like they'll say Revival, we'll watch, maybe whatever team is going on before they actually have to go to warm-ups, right? So if there's a team before them that's in between like the meet time and the time you go to the judges, then, go watch them. And then usually if there's any teams after, then they're kind of like, hey, then stay for those ones. It's not a requirement. And you're right, it does kind of stink because last year, being a senior 5 team, they went kind of more later, and the only team really that kind of went after them were the world's teams, and usually the world's teams would be in warm-ups while they were on the stage. So a lot of the younger teams wouldn't stay, so we would only have like our parents, kind of in the corral or whatever. So it was a little bit of a bummer last season because, and not every competition, but there was a few that it was just the parents from our team. And granted, I mean, it was a pretty big team, I think, because we were like a large medium or whatever. So I think we had like 28. I want to say we had like 27, 28 kids on the mat. So, you got 30 or so parents, plus, maybe, plus or minus a few or whatever. So, but no, we're not like mandatory that we have to be there, but they will say, hey, if you're on at this time, support these teams before you and these teams after you, and then you're free to go. If you're on at this time, support these teams and these teams, and then you're free to go, kind of thing.
All right, that's not too bad. We're about the same.
No.
I hear and see some crazy stories about getting fined for everything under the sun. I'm like, that's nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. If somebody tried to find me, I'd tell them where they could sit that fine, honestly. I mean,
you already take enough of my money.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can kiss my ass on that one. Oh, sorry. I don't know if you guys swear on this.
No, we got the explicit tag on. We're good.
Okay. Yeah.
Swing for the fences. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So are either one of you guys the dress to impress dads at a comp?
Jerry.
You are you full garb?
So I am a huge WWE fan.
Okay.
I have been since I was a kid. And I've got Macho Man Randy Savage tattooed on my left calf and Ultimate Warrior on my right calf. So I'm a huge WWE fan. So last year I broke out the Macho Dad, Macho Cheer Dad.
Okay.
And yeah, so I think we're gonna. I did it in one competition last year, and I think I'm going to get the full garb this year, get it set up, and
So,
bring him back out. So
are you talking like Dad Fury, or are you going to try and
similar.
surpass Dad Fury?
Dad Fury is pretty big, and we've got a couple dads that like to dress up similar to that, but they're not all like in sync like Dad Fury. So
Dad Fury, I've witnessed those guys. It's incredible, and their group just keeps getting bigger.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm all about
I'm not
it. Like
kidding.
I
Like,
love it.
These guys walk into a room or a hallway, and people just move out of the way. It's wild.
Yeah.
Like they take the stage of the hallway.
So like Cheer Dad Mafia.
I found out that those guys actually they actually have practice. I'm pretty sure they have practice.
I heard
like
the same.
dads actually
Really?
they have oh yeah, it's like they all get the same. I've got the same uniform or whatever, the same wardrobe. Like
Yep.
it's actual like a legit almost like a separate practice for the dads. To be honest,
I've
with you.
actually seen on like TikToks of cheer things that pop up or social media of like they actually have a category for parents at comps. Like it's pretty wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're not going to see me out there rolling around, but
nah, probably not. But you know, I am definitely the dress up guy. Like, I couldn't find sneakers in our colors. Started doing some research. Like, you know what? I can paint pretty well. I customized my own sneakers. And then I had to get matching color, like long ass soccer socks. Got those. Then we started getting parent jerseys. Did that. Wife was making shirts. I have Sorry I Can't. My daughter has cheer that I pretty much have worn to about every single competition since she's been cheering. Really good friend / family member of mine has a crafting business. He made me this monster how do I want to put it?
oversized medallion.
Yeah, exactly, like an
Yeah.
oversized medallion with, you know, the C for Colony on it.
Mhm.
Big monster gold chain. I do have a wig. I've only wore it once, but I do have one
Really?
in our colors, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. I do have our colors makeup. Only did that once because it didn't really want to come off.
I
But
don't go crazy. I wear the colors.
but yeah, I'm in. And my daughter and her teammates have actually gotten pissed off at me because I showed up late to a comp because of work and I wasn't dressed up.
Oh wow.
You failed.
Pretty much
My daughter-
pretty much to the point where I literally got, what the F are you doing? You're an asshole. Why aren't you dressed up?
Working overtime,
My
pay for
daughter-
cheer.
Right.
Yeah. My daughter's like, no, Dad, no, not happening. So I just try to find a shirt that's in the same color. I used to kind of make my own cheer dad shirts because I couldn't stand the ones that they had. The one that I have that everybody seems to enjoy is it's a co-ed, so it's a male athlete holding up the flyer, and I came up with a saying that was, if you have your hand on my daughter's butt, you better be her back spot. And so like I get that one like remade every year, and the wording is just in whatever color the team color is for
That's
that
a
year.
great one.
And yeah, that's the one that everybody, I get stopped a lot of times when I'm wearing it. People are like, moms are like, oh my God, I need that for my dad, for the husband. Where'd you get it? And I'm like, I made it. Like, I don't.
Sounds like it could
sell
be making
here.
some money.
I make it. I probably should if I had the time and effort to put into it.
Just be walking around with a duffel
so-
bag full of shirts.
Yeah,
Side hustle at the comp.
yeah, exactly.
It's fundraising.
Varsity would probably fine me for.
Oh,
for
they'd lose their mind and deduct a team a point.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'd have to do it like the old school concert T-shirts and do it out of the trunk of the car in the parking lot.
That'd be hysterical. Varsity would not like that.
I've seen,
for sure.
But if you trademark it, then they got to buy it off you, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the hell it said, but there was definitely like an innuendo shirt that I seen like Myrtle Beach or something, like Beach Bash.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just absolutely hysterical, and it was like selling like crazy at the comp. I don't know if that's something that you guys go to. We've gone to it a couple of times, Beach Bash in South Myrtle.
Yeah. No, my daughter went to that one when she was on Angels, and that was the one that my wife took her to, because that year we split the comps. So my wife took her to 2, and I took her to 2. So my wife did the one in Myrtle Beach.
I got to run. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Appreciate you being here.
Alex, I will holler at you later, brother. I appreciate you again. Like I said, I appreciate you guys bringing us on, and
no, thanks for joining us, guys. And before you do take off, I just want to make sure that I have this correct. You guys are the Cheer Dad podcast, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So anyone that that is listening,
find us anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find us.
Yeah, same with us. You guys are on about all the same platforms. We do have to wrap it up. Something just came up with us anyway. But no, this has been a blast. It's been overly simple. I mean, for the 4 of us,
it really is a special group.
Right.
If anyone has a chance, like, become a cheer dad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we appreciate you guys doing this. It's been a blast, and hopefully we can do some more collabs like throughout as the season gets going on, and just kind of, do some comp recaps or something like that. Since we'll probably all be at similar, maybe some of the same comps, but maybe different comps. And
hopefully we cross paths out there in the old comp world, because it would be it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, exactly.
The cheer dad life is not for the faint of heart.
We could go. Yeah. We could do a podcast from the cheer. We'd have to get Varsity's permission, but I don't think it'd be a problem.
Yeah,
that'd be wild. That would be awesome.
I might just have to go to a comp.
I'll have to look into that and reach out to them and see what they say.
I'm just waiting until we get enough episodes under our belt, and since Jerry's the fundraiser guy, I'm going to send him out to get us some sponsorship. So maybe if we don't have competitions together, we can afford to go to competitions together and do some podcasts.
Quit talking shit on Varsity then, and we'll get them to sponsor.
Maybe they want to sponsor to prove themselves.
We're gonna have to get a box.
That's
in an
a call
arena,
out.
and then we can set it up. So it's actually quiet, but I've never been to a quiet.
Yeah, but you're live. It wouldn't matter. Yeah,
there's always the
you do it live. Yeah, you do it live. And realistically, I mean, I've done a few at conventions for my detail podcasts, and if you get a good enough mic, it doesn't pick up too much background noise. You got to get more of like a directional mic, and then that way it's only picking up you talking into it. It's not as bad.
Right. Well, guys, appreciate it.
Appreciate it a lot.
It's been a blast. We will we'll have to do this again.
Absolutely. You guys have a great night.
You guys be good. Have a great night.
Take care.